So what we want to do now is just conditionally render these buttons so that we only ever see one of them, depending on whether the user's going, not going, or if they're managing or hosting this event. So let's head back to VS Code, and we want to go to our activity details header for this. And inside here, we have our 3 buttons. And what we'll do is we'll just use the activity.isHost property for the manage event. And we'll use a ternary operator here actually, because the user is going to be a host or they're not going to be a host. And I'll just cut and paste this button inside here. And then what we want to do, we'll add a colon, and we'll add another ternary operator here, and we'll check to see if the user is going. So we'll say activity.isGoing, and add a question mark and more parentheses. And if the user is basically not a host and they are going, then we'll give them the option to cancel their attendance. So we'll paste that button in there. And then after this, we'll add another colon, more parentheses, and then we'll cut the join activity button and paste it in there. And then I'll reformat and hope that everything lines up nice and neatly. So if they're a host of an activity, then we display the manage event button. And if they're not the host, then we'll display one of these 2 buttons. And if they're going to the event, we give them the option to cancel. And if they're not going to the event, we'll give them the option to join. And let's just go and make sure this is working. I'm logged in as Tom, and he can see the join activity for an activity he's not going to and not hosting. So let's go back to the activities, and let's find one that Tom is hosting. So we'll click on this, and we can see the manage event. And if we go back to one that he is not hosting but he is going to, then we should see the cancel attendance. Excellent. So what we'll do next is we'll add the functionality for these buttons, and we'll start off just by doing this locally in our activity store, and we'll start to look at that next.